What happened to 30-year-old Zahida Parveen will send chills down your spine. To see what the monster did to her, watch until the very end of this video. It began in a small, dusty village in Jatli, Pakistan. The kind of place where the air smells faintly of earth after the morning sweep, where neighbors know each other's voices as well as their own, and where a woman's life often revolves around home family and keeping the peace. Zahida was no different. She was a mother, a wife, and until that day, a believer that life, though not perfect, had its small moments of beauty. She spent her mornings cooking over a crackling fire, the scent of fresh chapati filling the one-room home, her hands moving with the skill of habit. She washed clothes by hand, her fingers red from the cold water in winter, her mind often wandering to her children's laughter in the courtyard. Her husband, Mehmood Iqbal, was a familiar figure in the village, tall, broad-shouldered, with a stare that could freeze a person mid-sentence. He was not known for kindness. Behind the thin walls of their home, Zahida had learned to read his moods like weather. The slam of a door meant a storm. The silence meant something worse was coming. On the day everything changed, the winter sun was weak and pale, casting long, tired shadows. Zahida had been kneading dough when Mehmood returned earlier than usual. His boots scraped against the floor with an impatient rhythm, the air around him heavy with unspoken anger. He didn't greet her. He didn't sit. He just stood there, staring. And then, with a voice low but trembling with rage, he accused her of the one thing she had never done: betrayal. There was no evidence, no witness, just a suspicion, poisonous and consuming, that had been brewing in his mind. Zahida's breath caught in her chest. Her palms were damp, the flour on her fingers turning to paste. She tried to speak, to deny, to plead, her voice trembling like a trapped bird, but the words bounced off him like stones on steel. "Don't lie to me," he hissed, and then the storm broke. He grabbed her by the arm, his fingers digging into her flesh, and pulled her into the dim back room. The door shut with a sound that seemed to swallow the light. Zahida's heart pounded so loud she could hear it in her ears. She could smell the stale air of the room, the faint dampness of the walls, and beneath it all, the sharp, metallic tang of fear. On the table lay a blade. Her eyes widened, her mouth opened, but before a scream could escape, he struck. The first cut was fire, searing, blinding. She felt warmth rushing down her face, the world spinning in a blur of pain. She tried to twist away, but his grip was iron. Again and again and again the blade came until her face was no longer her own. The room echoed with ragged breathing, his heavy and furious, hers shallow and desperate. Somewhere in the distance, she thought she heard her children crying. But maybe it was her own voice, small and broken. When it was over, she lay on the cold floor, the scent of blood thick in the air, her skin burning, her vision fading. He had taken her beauty, her sight, and almost her life. But Zahida did not die. When Zahida regained consciousness, it wasn't light that greeted her. It was darkness. A thick, suffocating darkness that told her, without a mirror, that her eyes were gone. The world was now a collage of sounds and smells. The distant wailing of her mother when she saw her daughter's face. The muffled sobs of her children, unsure why their mother wouldn't open her eyes to look at them. The sterile, bitter scent of hospital antiseptic mixed with the metallic smell of her own blood. Doctors worked frantically to save her. Stitches pulled at the torn skin of her face, each tug making her flinch. Painkillers dulled the agony, but not the memories. Every time she closed what was left of her eyelids, she was back in that room. The blade flashing, her husband's hot breath against her ear, the unrelenting weight of his rage. News of the attack spread beyond Jatli, making its way into newspapers and television broadcasts. People were horrified. Some called it an act of unimaginable cruelty. Others whispered about honor and shame. the same twisted ideas that had fueled Mehmood Iqbal's madness. Mehmood was arrested, but the damage he inflicted could not be undone. Zahida's face had been mutilated. Her sight was gone forever. Yet somewhere inside her, buried beneath the pain and trauma, a spark refused to go out. She wanted to live, not for herself, but for her children. Her case reached the ears of international organizations, and soon help arrived from an unexpected place. She was offered reconstructive surgery abroad, an attempt to give her a face that the world would not look away from. The journey to London was surreal. The hum of the plane's engines was constant, but in her mind, she replayed every step from her home to the hospital, the cold metal of the blade, the unbearable heat of blood streaming down her cheeks. She gripped the armrest, reminding herself she was going somewhere for hope, not more pain. In London, surgeons spent hours, then days, working to rebuild what had been destroyed. Skin grafts, delicate sutures, endless dressings. The smell of disinfectant became her new normal. The feeling of bandages against her skin was constant, but underneath them, the slow miracle of healing had begun. When the bandages were first removed, there was no shock in Zahida's reaction, only silence. She could not see herself. She could only feel the cool air touch the new skin where the wounds had once been raw. Those around her gasped quietly, some with relief, some with tears in their eyes. Back in Pakistan, her story became a symbol, not just of cruelty, but of survival. She stood in front of cameras, her reconstructed face a testament to the resilience of a woman who had been left for dead. She spoke about the violence that had been done to her, about the need for justice for women who suffer in silence. Mehmood Iqbal, the man who had once been her husband, sat in a prison cell. The walls around him were thick, but nowhere near as suffocating as the cage of hatred he had built inside himself. And Zahida? She continued forward, step by step, even in darkness. She would never again see the faces of her children, the warm glow of the sun, or the green fields of her village. But she could feel their small hands in hers, hear their voices, and know deep in her soul that she had survived what was meant to destroy her. So when you see her real photographs at the end of this video, remember, this is not just the face of a victim, this is the face of a survivor. If Zahida's courage moved you, let her know in the comments. Your words might mean more than you can imagine. And stay with us, because next, we uncover another story the world tried to erase.